Fingers crossed, everything's working. That looks good. Okay, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Turn off tech. Get things going here. It's very busy at the restaurant this morning, so my apologies if there's a lot of background noise. But it is what it is. Breakfast, as I have every morning since I got back. Siem Reap. I am consistent, if not anything. Go over to my account so I can watch and catch the stream. I'm running a little behind mentally this morning. Okay, that's good. Should be good. Just do a quick test. Yeah. I was up really late last night working on my computer stuff, which I've been doing a lot lately. It's becoming more and more necessary to get away from Windows, so. Hello, Maven. So yeah, there was a recent security update patch from Microsoft, and they decided to break dual booting, which is one of the key things that you need. There we go. Sorry, went back to it. So the dual boot is something you kind of need if you want to work in Linux and still work in Windows. So now they've made it so if Windows detects a dual boot, they're saying, oh, there's an error, and it locks you out of the dual boot. So, which is not what I need. So what I decided to do was to run both operating systems. So I'm doing Linux for almost everything, like all my day-to-day stuff, gaming, everything that I want to do. Video editing was just going to be on the Windows boot, so I was going to flip-flop back and forth on the little mini PC. But with Microsoft's recent update, I have to now test Linux on my laptop, because one of the problems with DaVinci and why I was staying in Windows was because in DaVinci Resolve you don't have access to the AMD cores for doing the rendering, and there's all kinds of problems just trying to get AMD stuff running on DaVinci in the version that I'm running. So I'm trying NVIDIA, because I have an NVIDIA card on my laptop. So that's today. So what I did is I got I have a backup drive that I've been using. So I did made sure I got everything off of it. I'm clearing everything out of it, and I'm doing a fresh install of Linux on that. And if it works, I'm out, done. If I can do everything on Linux, I'm done. I'm not gonna fiddle with it. I'll keep a hard drive that has my Windows install on it, just as a backup in the background. But I should have done this about 3 months ago. But it is what it is. So that's been on the back of my head, which has kind of monopolized my brain for the past couple of days, to be honest. And I've been using Linux on the mini PC exclusively now for about 4 days. Been testing stuff and playing around with it, but yeah. So hopefully the stream's working. Looks like we are. Come on. So yeah, that has been my vacation from recording this week. Has been playing with my computer. It's not for everybody. That's good today. That is very good today. Okay, what are we doing? Okay. I'm sure it's still working. Looks like we are. That is very good today. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So, been doing a lot of soul searching about what to do on the channel for the next little while. Because I've been scheduling everything for the videos from Vietnam. So it's allowed me to kind of, put some more effort into thinking of, things that I can do, things that I could do better, things to change. So, I love doing the live streams, but right now I'm in a bit of a rut with it, and that's just me, because especially this morning, I would love to have gone someplace and done something completely different other than having breakfast, but I just don't really have the time, which sounds really weird. It's like, what do you have scheduled for today? Well, like I mentioned, my brain is, yes, I dip my pork in the egg yolk. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, so my brain is occupied with this whole Windows thing. So that's been my focus. But the other thing has been the heat. The heat has been insane. And even the other day yesterday, I went to go see Aliens Romulus, or Alien Romulus. The movie was on, I think, 11:45 a.m. So I went to the theater, and loved the movie, by the way, but it was like 2 hours long, right? So around 1:30, 2 o'clock, I was out of the theater. And it was bloody hot. So bloody hot. So with the heat, I've been kind of like relaxing more and, a big little seed stuck in my tooth. But yeah, I've just been so focused on doing like my computer and just dealing with the heat. Everything else just kind of slipped aside. So I woke up this morning going, oh shit, it's stream day. So I scrambled. And the other day I was researching places to go because I wanted to do something a little different, thinking that I had a couple of days still. I didn't. So next week, because the live streams are just going to be so typically I do them back home. It would be Thursday night. I think these run around 8 o'clock at night, 7 or 8 o'clock at night, which are fine, and I'm happy to do them, but it kind of limits what I can do during the day. So that I get up and I have to go someplace and do these things. So I'm thinking, and it's just a tentative thought, is I have two, so I'm thinking of doing one daytime, one nighttime. So it would be either it would just push up the release time by about 12 hours. So I'm gonna try it. I might do it Sunday. Sorry. The Saturday night stream, which I'll actually go out Saturday night. I'll actually have Sunday off for a change, so we'll see. There's thoughts about all of it. But feel free to offer suggestions. I'm always down. Stuff you'd like to see. Other than me stuffing my face full of pork and eggs and rice. Chat is just not happening today, which is fine. Yep. It is what it is. God, this is so good. I never get tired of this. Ever. There's too many flavors that are, like, the flavor profiles are so good here. I dig it. Oh man, a giant plate of pork. I don't know if there was like a holiday or something today. It was. Oh, okay. It was so hot yesterday. You're not kidding. I think the worst part has been the humidity. Like, it's just been over the top with humidity lately. Like, I just can't seem to catch a break. Eventually, it'll slow down. Frugal tips. My pencil is at 30. Tips? You want tips for me? Pork. It's not bacon, but it's damn good. They do a chicken here as well, which I haven't tried yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Saw some people using it today, or doing it today, so tempting. Once you're done here, I'm gonna go grab a coffee. It's the other problem too is, like, with the heat. Like, even this morning, I was like, oh, maybe we just go take a walk and I'll breakfast on the way back home. I stepped out of my apartment into a little hallway, and there's windows in the hallway for outdoors, so you can get a good crowd squeeze. It was like walking out into a sauna. I didn't have the AC on in my room. I just had the fans going. I was like, good Lord. So yeah. Pork and eggs, man, and rice. When I was younger, when I was in university, my first roommate, or one of my first roommates, was from Cuba. And one morning, he decided he was going to show us breakfast. He's going to make breakfast for us. And up to that point, I'd been, traditional Canadian kid. So all I'd ever had for breakfast was. Did you go to any of the Thai islands? No, I didn't. I haven't been to an island since I got here. You're heading to Vietnam in October and you're starting your adventure in Saigon. Aren't you warning you? If you go to Saigon and then you have Dalat next on your list and you have more plans afterwards, skip Dalat and do your other things before you go to Dalat, because if you're like me, you'll get stuck in Dalat and never want to leave. The cool weather was such a treat there. Yeah, I haven't been to any of the islands over here yet. I would like to. I do have some plans coming up in October of heading to get some island hopping in. It's in a tentative works right now. But I'm excited. Chatting with some friends about some plans, so I'm super stoked. But anyway, I was in university. My roommate decided he was going to make breakfast for us. Oh, hi, Johnny. Move to Delat? No, not yet. Unless something happens in Vietnam to change the long-term visa situation, you end up running into the same situation in a lot of the other countries. It's like you having to leave all the time. And it's 3 months there. So if I go there with a plan of spending 3 months, that's a different story. Then I'm fine. And that's still just a vacation, which is something I'm planning on doing. So during the hot season next year, so from March, April, May, so February, March, and April, I'm going to take those 3 months and head off to Vietnam. Spend some time in Dalat, maybe try to get a place for a month there, and then go to northern Vietnam and hit 2 or 3 spots and grab a month if I can. Or if I'm in an area that has a lot of stuff, set base up for a month and then travel around in that area. Okay. Yeah, Gary, I have no problem with that. My daily spending there. Remember, I'm frugal. The hotels I was grabbing were about $10 to $12 a night. I drank a lot of coffee, so it was a couple dollars a day there. Most meals you can get around the $2 to $3 mark. You can go cheaper, but for most people with a Western palate, I'm not trying to stick to the people with a Western palate that are, not that are afraid to branch out a little bit. I would say maybe $10, $15 a day US. Be pushing it. I was closer to 10. My daily expenses for my time away was around, in this hotel, transportation, everything was just shy of $20 a day. Which is stupid. $20 plus accommodation. Yeah, absolutely doable. Again, I live on the cheap end of things, so there were days that I was going out getting, like my lunch would be a couple of banh mi. And if you were smart and you went to the right places, you could get them for about $20K each. I'm not surprised China likes my breakfast because it's so good. This place is great. Like honestly, in Siem Reap, this is my favorite breakfast place. Every time. Yeah. So the lot is dangerous. Very dangerous because it's so good. I will have to hold her to that. Not make life easy. I'm great. I've not had a homemade version of this yet, so I've actually been wanting to do something like this based upon like a meal that I was talking about earlier. I had, like I said, my roommate in university. He was from Cuba, so one morning he made breakfast for us, and it was huevos rancheros. And it was just so good. It was just so damn good. It was the first time I've ever had like rice with eggs and beans, and then it had like salsa and all that on the side. And it was just delightful. So that was like my first foray into, considering rice as a breakfast option. Here in Asia, it's just what you do. You're having rice, like with meat, or porridge, which is a rice porridge. But my brain has been wanting to have this, but have like a mess of refried like black beans, or like a really good huevos. What is it? Huevos negros. So black beans, like black bean and rice. Oh my god! And the spice profiles are right on with a lot of the stuff here. So like the heat signatures are good. So like I could make like my spicy black beans here, and I think that would really complement well with the fried eggs and the pork. She's ready. Awesome. I'm looking forward to cooking with her. So it'd be nice. So good. But yeah, trying to think. Saigon I found was a little bit more expensive than Dalat. Eating out, there were a lot more. I found a lot more restaurants in Dalat that I could eat at. Isaac, third coffee today. I haven't even had my first one yet. I will remedy that very soon. Oh, man. This is so freaking good. I think I'm the only person that live streams breakfast from this place. And Jenny is so sweet, so thank her for me, maybe. I am looking forward to I'm definitely looking forward to a home cooked version of this. That's the fun thing about traveling is like already having a broad palate. So I've tried foods from all over the place, but my brain is constantly trying to go, ooh, this would go well with that. But to be honest, this is like such a perfect breakfast. Anything I'd be thinking of doing would not be to take over for it, or to, trying to find a new version, because it's one of the absolute perfect breakfasts for me. But it'd be something fun just to kind of play and have something new, just to play with foods a little bit. Bring a little bit of the Caribbean into Cambodia. Maybe adding a little bit of jerk seasoning to the pork. There's all kinds of things to do. I wonder if jerk would be hard to make here. I don't think so. I think I've seen thyme. Green onions are readily available. Hot peppers are readily available. The only thing I'm curious about is nutmeg. I mean, that's not a huge deal to get. I mean, I'm sure I can get it. Breakfast is done. Okay. I just want to get everything organized here. With that in my pouch. I gotta get this cleaned out. I spilled chilies in it when I was in Vietnam. I couldn't. And this is for you. Thank you. Yeah, I had I did it on one of my videos. I'm trying to think, was it one of the live streams or was it one I did? But yeah. Thank you. Okay, this should be fun, getting all blown out. Let's do that and that. We're good? Did it catch my face? I have no idea. Don't know if it's doing the face attack thing. It's obviously not. Okay, interesting. Let's try it again. Take a look over here. Here we go. Do I feel like sitting out in the sun or inside? I'm kind of feeling the urge to get a little bit of somebody else's AC for a while. They have AC here too, though. No, let's continue this place. Let's see how bad that their AC room is. If it's packed, then I'll just sit out on the patio. I think I'm gonna have a hot coffee today, though. I think a hot coffee is in line. And that's one of the things that I learned years ago, is that a hot beverage on a hot day helps keep your body cool. So, just a tidbit. Ooh. Every time the exhaust on these little scooters and motorcycles kind of puffs out, so you can be like 2 feet away from it. You feel it running against your leg. Okay. Hot latte. Just today. I think I'll do a latte. Or mocha. Yeah, I'll do a mocha today. I haven't had one for a while. And then I'll grab an Americano on the way out. They're really busy with orders. We do a lot of takeout stuff here too. Can I get a cafe mocha hot for here?
Hot guy.
Hot.
Hot mocha.
Yes, thank you. Okay, that's taken care of. I liked this seat the last time I was here, so we'll do it again. It has a deep table. Makes life easier for me to do the stream. So, apologies. There we go. Yeah, that works. That works well. See if I'm up here. Great. Good God. Okay. No extra comments since then, which is good. Yeah, so the next stream, which is usually if you're in the West, like back in the US or in Canada, I usually stream Saturday nights, I think it is, yeah. So what I'm thinking of doing is an actual Saturday night stream from here, which would be a Saturday morning stream. So something a little different. So we'll give it a shot, see how it works. There's a night market that I want to go to that I thought would be kind of fun. Or just wandering through the town at night can be kind of fun too. So there should be ample ambient light here. So it's a thought, as they say, for sure. Double check things here. That's what's going on here. Please feel free to ask me any questions you have, because I do enjoy when you guys ask away. I love this Techno phone, but it has a things like. So, if I scroll from, like, I just grab up and I scroll down, it will pull up all that menu. But I'm trying to get a notification, so you have to scroll from the other side to get the notification. So it's actually, it's sensitive, and it's like on either side of the camera, and I'm always hitting the wrong side. Always, like without fail. Ooh, it is a warm one today. I should have probably gone inside with all the other people. Yeah, I'll be heading home soon enough. Turn on the AC this afternoon. And that's the other thing too, is like I haven't had AC on during the daytime much since April, May. And I've been feeling the need for it again, which is really weird. Just to say how hot it was. This camera, the other day I was doing my Catching Up with Sean video. I had to record that twice because I was walking and I was on my way back home after my walk, and the camera overheated and shut off. I hadn't realized it. And that's the very first time that it's happened. So this camera is rated up to 40 degrees centigrade. And just the humidity and everything, it finally put it to its limits, and it said, nope, we're done. And I understood it, because when I got home, I was like, I'm done. So, yeah, I've been cranking out a little bit of AC. I put the AC on to like 27, 28, which is cooler than the ambient temperature outside. And Jeremy and Claire from For Real were talking. They've turned their AC just basically to fan, but to dry, to get rid of the humidity, and that they've seen a marked improvement in their energy bills and the coolness of the rooms. So I don't see the option on my unit here, and I'm only here for another week anyway, so. And I'm looking forward to not being. The AC, I don't have an issue with the apartment. The apartment's fine, it's just the AC unit's really old. So even when I was cranking it, it just was kind of puffing out cool air instead of lukewarm. That's why I like your frugal. Thanks, you're welcome, Gary. I try to be frugal in everything that I do. It's just easier for me to deal with. I've been like this forever. Always have been. I mean, yeah. I was actually talking with my dad last night because I was talking about the whole Linux thing. We worked together for years, and one of the things that we did when we were visiting clients is we always had extra gear in our cars, because we were doing mostly software support, but every now and again you're going to run into a hardware issue that you need to address. And so we would have bits and pieces of hardware, because we had the same components and a lot, like we bought the same servers, and so like the scanners and things that we used for the point of sale terminals and all that, we always had the same brands, and so it was easy enough for us to have extras in our car. So it's something that, it just made life easier. What we would do is if we ran into a hardware problem, we could just go out to our car and get the hardware, replace it, fix it, and go from there. We didn't have to run back into town or have to wait and place an order and, wait for a couple of days to get a part shipped to us. It's just something that was instilled in me. It's like having extra gear is always a good idea. So when I was coming over here, that same mindset registered through me. So I made sure that, I had the two computers, both of them compact, easy enough to carry, to the point where I have a laptop and a desktop computer that fits into a backpack with a bunch of other shit. So like it's a tight, compact unit. And then, so I had hard drives and everything in them, but I also have as an external M.2 enclosure. Now, typically you'd use that as like an external storage unit, And I've done that from time to time. Like it runs really fast. It's USB-C, so I can plug it into the computers, transfer data over. For doing movie stuff, like for videos, it's handy. So I had a 512 gig one, which was the exact same size as the drive that I have in my laptop. So when I ran into a problem with my laptop and I needed to do stuff, I could swap out. I couldn't. Thank you so much. Ooh, thank you. Oh, that looks beautiful. Yeah. I'll show you guys. This is not my usual fare, right? So, look at that. That is beautiful. Did the little feather on it, or the leaf. I call it a feather. I do not miss not being a smoker. So weird. Like I love being outside, but I realize that that's usually where smokers are relegated to. So a lot of times I'll be outside and enjoying a nice, pristine, beautiful outdoor air and surrounded by smokers. Because I don't know why. Well, I do. They're not allowed to smoke inside a lot of places, so. And I'm not criticizing people for smoking. I was a smoker myself for years. So anyway, that's nice. So anyway, I came over here with extra gear on purpose to make sure that I have in case of emergencies. Like I was running into a problem on my laptop and it just wasn't working right. And so what I wanted to do was to make a copy of the operating system, copied it over onto another drive, just so I could test the other drive to make sure that it was working okay. It's kind of hard to run those tests when you're using it as the operating system. So I just did a mirror copy of the current OS, put it on the other SSD, unscrewed the laptop, put the new drive in, boop, 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 and then I had the enclosure was running as the backup and ran my tests on it. And then, I was able to remedy problems with it that way. Ooh, hot. Hot, 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 hot. I don't know why, but I thought that this was a glass of apple juice in my infinite wisdom, and it's tea. A cup of hot tea. Ooh, so nice too. So yeah, when I was talking with my dad, we were talking about the fact that, like when I was younger, he brought a, he built a computer and brought it home for the first time. I was in the house for 5 minutes and already tore it apart, looking at all the parts in it. I was like, ooh, what does this do? What does this do? And that's kind of what I've been like my whole life. It's like I like to get into the guts of something. Roy, a coffee connoisseur got you into drinking coffee or tea black. So you, Roy, I'm with you 100%. Get used to it and find it's to my taste now. Yeah, I agree 100%. 99 times out of 100, my coffee is just an Americano or just an espresso black. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of sugar to it, but 99 times out of 100, it's going to be, I'll have it black, and I prefer it. I think for me, it was when I got a hold of good coffee. Like, your Dunkin' Donuts and your Tim Hortons and your, your cafe, your old diner coffee, the coffee pod that had been sitting there for 13 years and was almost to tar. Definitely no sugar, yeah. Very infrequently will I do it. So if I do add some sugar, like I add it to this because it's a mocha, because I know that, that the mocha, where it tends to, like, they don't add sugar to it, so it tends to be a little bit on the bitter side, so a little bit of sugar helps draw out the chocolate notes. And that's what I do, is I'll taste the coffee, and if I see that some of the notes are kind of laying flat, sometimes you can brighten up those notes a little bit by adding just a touch of sugar. So, and I don't want to ever make it like where sugar is overpowering it. I just want it to be something that kind of accentuates and elevates it. So But I will never fault somebody for just wanting to have a coffee black and not do anything else to it, because it is really good. It is so good. And that's the other thing too, is the coffee that I've had over here in Southeast Asia in general, except for Thailand. I did not really, trying to think, there's not much of a cafe culture when I was in Bangkok. At least the section that I was in. You know, you have the Cafe Amazon, you have the little mom and pop street shop ones, but all they ever served was like the instant coffee or the coffee that they brew in, I call it the sock, but it's like, you know, it's a bag that you put the coffee in and it steeps it. And it's tasty. But I just found that it was not quite to my liking. And then when I got over here, the coffee was way better for me. Like their Americanos here in Siem Reap are just outstanding. And so I was drinking the Americano no sugar just to try to get a flavor for it. Oh, Roy. Wait, what did Gary, what did I see about Vietnam Steve? Oh, $20, okay. I was trying to keep up with stuff going on here. Roy, also like 90% chocolate to eat. I think our taste buds changes as we get older. I will agree with that. I'm with you. I don't know if I go to 90. I'm more like the 80% dark chocolate. I really love dark chocolate flavor. I'm also the weirdo that my snack back home, I'd get a nice piece of dark chocolate and, you know, break off a little piece like one of the bar pieces, like the square, and then I would dip that into a natural organic peanut butter. And just a creamy peanut butter that, you know, had oil and everything in it, no sugar, no nothing added to it. And so I'd have dark chocolate with a little bit of that peanut butter on it, and I just pop it in my mouth and I'd, you know, chew on a little bit, suck it, and that would be like a snack, like just one piece. So I can make a chocolate bar last for weeks because of that. And I had the peanut butter because I was using it for my breakfast. I put it in my overnight oatmeal with cocoa. And that was fun too, because like that's when I was starting to step away from a lot of the processed sugars and all that back home. I was getting, I was making my overnight oatmeal. It was a banana, peanut butter, chia seeds, oats, and then I was making my own oat milk, so there's no sugar in it, because I had the, you just puree water and oats, and then you get like a sock type of thing. Same idea as the coffee over in Thailand. This is why I call it a sock, because I called it the oat sock. But yeah, I was making my own oat milk. So the only sugars I had were coming from the banana. And so I was able to have a delightful overnight oatmeal most mornings for breakfast. Great way to start my day, especially when I was working IT, because your brain needs to fire in all cylinders when you're taking calls first thing in the morning. Like at 8 o'clock in the morning, logging into the terminal, some asshole calling in, it's not working. It has to be on your end. And then you check and it's usually something wrong with their own systems. They have the software we had. Sometimes there was an interface that they had a server on their end that would interface with ours. And usually it was an error on their end, because the error message was always like, you know, couldn't connect to their system. Yeah, Roy, that's exactly it. That's what I was getting, was the, you know, all natural peanut butter. We have a Bulk Barn in Canada. It's a nothing store. Like you can get, like if you needed herbs and spices and stuff, it was reasonable for that. You can go in, like if you needed a couple tablespoons of some random spicing you're going to use like once a year, you go in and you can get that amount and, you know, pay the 12 cents, whatever it was going to be. But if you went in there for snacks, like that's how they got you, is they had a whole section of candies and snacks that they would give you the rate based upon per 100 gram. And that was constantly getting people, because they'd take a scoop and they're like, oh, I got this. And they'd be like, yeah, that was $2.75 for a little bag of peanuts and stuff. And they're like, oh, God. But once you got it, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I bagged it. I'm gonna have to buy it. But they had it in the back was a machine that had just peanuts in it, and you could make your own peanut butter. And they had like the two settings, was like crunchy or smooth. And I'd go in there and make my own peanut butter because it was just peanuts. And that was, for me, the best way to do it. They would also have sometimes, they had like a honey roasted peanut butter. They have like just the peanuts that were like honey roasted, but I didn't like those ones. I tried it once, just hardly any flavor, hardly any honey coming through it. But yeah, so I'm sweating balls again. Oh. Tea. You're visiting Kuala Lumpur on Sunday. I think it's the best city for what? For a foodie. I haven't been. I'm planning on heading over there. The current plan is end of October. I'm looking at doing a couple of weeks, going over to KL, and then heading over to Sumatra, and then there for a little bit too. So it's a plan that is currently being worked on. So it's a plan that I'm very excited to go to. But yeah, my buddy Daryl from Wander Eats, he's based out of Kuala Lumpur, and he constantly shows off all the food that he has there. So I will not argue with you that one of the reasons I want to go to KL is because of the food that Daryl shows. Maven, I remember buying peanut butter like that. Yeah, that was the thing. It's like, it used to be you could go to the grocery stores and do your peanut butter. Like you would have like the peanut butter thing, and then you'd also, like some grocery store chains had it, most of the health food stores had it. You could get that. And then I remember when the coffee grinder showed up, that was a big thing, buying your beans and grinding it there. I love the smell of that. God. But you're still buying crappy American beans or Canadian beans. Yeah, back in the 70s and 80s, we really didn't have access to great coffee. At least, not that I can remember. My parents drank Melita. I remember that smelling better than most of the other coffees that we had, but I have no idea. I've never had it, so I don't know as a point of reference. Drew, I think you can still do that at the Bulk Barn. Yeah. I was doing it in Fredericton before I left, so I know it was still available there. I don't know if it's at every Bulk Barn, but I know for sure. And Drew, nice having you here, my friend. I'm trying to think. There was, God, in Toronto, there was Roti Boy Buns in KL. I'll have to look that up when I'm there. Trying to think of the hippie store. Like Nature's Organic or something. There was a hippie store down by the Kensington Market that I used to go to. And man, I love that place. Go in and just smell of raw hippies. KL has good parks and botanical gardens that are well worth seeing. Well, if you've been watching my channel, you know how much I appreciate a good botanical garden and park. Yeah, but on your home from the Jays game, oh man. Hopefully they didn't lose too bad today. I haven't kept up to any sports. What was it? Something went on. It was like the Stanley Cup was happening. I was just like, oh yeah, because like there was no winter here. Don't miss Batu Caves. Yes, there are things in Malaysia that I definitely are on my list of places to go and do. So, but this is a marathon, not a sprint. So if I overlook something on this trip, I'll get to it on my next one because I'll be going back again. You won! Oh good, the Jays won. Oh, that's a nice treat. God, the last Jays game that I went to, trying to think, 12 years ago or so. I just moved back from Florida, and it was on, TIFF was going on, and I've been wandering through the streets of Toronto because I literally just got up from Florida. My dad and I drove up, got a room I rented in a house up on Finch, and so I had all of my stuff in that one room, and I just wanted to go out for the day, so I went down, just took the subway from Finch, went down to Queen Street. Did I get off at Queen? No, I got off at College, and then wandered down to Queen from there. It was just like a ghost town that day. And so like I hadn't been in Toronto for a while, so I just wanted to kind of like wander around and get my bearings and take a look at some of the landmarks again. So I decided I was going to walk down towards the CN Tower, which I did. And then when I was there was an elderly couple, and they were trying to open up the doors to go into the CN Tower, and they're pressurized, so you have to really kind of yank on them in order to get them open. So I saw that they were struggling with it, so I ran down, opened up the door for them. And then there was a like secondary door inside, making sure they were in. And I came back out, and I was just kind of wandering around to take a look at the CN Tower. And there was a scalper that was hanging out. And it was like around the 5th inning or something. And he just came up to me, he goes, dude, that was like such a, you know, you did a good thing for those people. And he handed me tickets to the Jays game. He goes, go and enjoy. So I went in and watched the last few innings of a Jays game. And that was the last one that I saw. And I left that, and then I was walking up the street, and they were giving away Coke Zero in bottles, and it was just, ugh. But they were just like kind of like forcing them in your hands. I was just like, okay. So I got the Coke Zero, and I just kind of like, you know, try to shy away from everybody because they're all hanging out in this big street corner. But there was also a bunch of people hanging around the building, like they were waiting for somebody. So I walked past all the crowds and, you know, looking for a garbage can and dumped my bottle in because I wasn't drinking it. And this, it wasn't a limo. It was like an SUV type of thing, you know, a great big huge with all the multiple doors on it. It stops right next to me, and I'm looking for the garbage can, and I you know, I'm going to be putting it in. All these guys get out of this car. And I look, and you know, they're long-haired, hippie-looking kind of dudes, and I recognize Eddie Vedder. It was fucking Pearl Jam. I didn't know that they were actually playing there that night. And so that's where all the people were down the street, were waiting on Pearl Jam. So, you know, I was here throwing away a bottle of Coke that I didn't want to drink, and ended up meeting Pearl Jam and saying hi to them as they scrambled into the venue through a side entrance that they were going to go in, and I think we're running around the back. So that was a fun day. That was only like part of the, that was one of those days that I just kept on walking into people. Like I met so many people that day. It was bizarre. TIFF is the Toronto International Film Festival. So it's like, I remember when it was nothing. The other one that we have is the Bon Nuit, the art thing at night. That one was kind of fun in the winter. But yeah, I'm almost done here. I think I have rambled enough. How long have we been going? 55 minutes? Almost an hour? I think this is good. I'm going to just sit here and relax and finish my coffee. I'm going to pick up an Americano. Take care, my friend. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate you being here, my friend. But yeah, I'm going to end things here. You know, go head back home and turn on the AC, and then go hop in the shower, and then come back into the AC room and lay on the bed and spend an hour letting the moisture slowly evaporate from my body. Kind of what you do, because it's so bloody hot. Oh. It's just, yeah, the weird things you do just to stay cool here. But anyway, I'm going to head off and just finish off my coffee. If you guys could do me a solid and hit the like button on the way out, it'd be greatly appreciated. I do let these videos go live after the fact, so in case people missed the live stream, they can catch it afterwards. but also feeds it to the algorithm. So anyway, I appreciate having you all here, and I will see you all very soon in our next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.